Thank you, Zamira. We start off with news from Trinidad and Tobago. Lawyers are threatening legal action against the state and demanding that the government commit to its policy that those seeking asylum in the country will be protected and not kicked out and placed in danger. The Express reported that a 422-page pre-action protocol letter was yesterday sent to National Security Minister Edmund Dillon and the Chief Immigration Officer by several lawyers. The legal minds stated they were prepared to take action against the state on behalf of the entire class of persons in Trinidad and Tobago who hold asylum seeker certificates issued on behalf of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. Premier of the British Virgin Islands, Dr. Orlando Smith, has announced that he will not be seeking re-election as leader of his National Democratic Party, NDP. The 73-year-old Smith, who made the announcement in a broadcast late yesterday, said he decided after much thought and prayer and after discussions with family and colleagues. The only confirmed contenders to succeed him as party leader are Education Minister Myron Walwyn and Health Minister Ronnie Skelton. During this weekend's NDP convention, candidates will also be contesting the offices of Vice President, Secretary, Deputy Secretary, Treasurer, Deputy Treasurer, Chairman of the Youth Movement, and Chairperson of the Women's Association. A man from the small village of Santa Teresa in Paraguay returned home after 3 days to find his family mourning a body they thought was his. 20-year-old Juan Roman Alfonso was last seen on Thursday, leaving the family home on the border with Brazil. The area is hotly disputed between a number of drug gangs, and when Alfonso did not return, his family assumed he had met with trouble. When police found a charred body on Sunday, they concluded it was him. The family held a wake in the village only for Alfonso to turn up and find them grieving over the coffin they thought held his body. Internationally, U.S. rapper XXXTentacion, who quickly rose to fame with 2 consecutive hit albums, has been killed at age 20. He was leaving a motorcycle dealership in South Florida on Monday when an armed suspect shot at him, the BBC reported. Police in Broward County said the rapper was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The county sheriff's office said that the young man was leaving the dealership when 2 armed suspects approached. At least one of them shot him before both fled the scene in a dark-colored SUV. The young rapper was often described as one of rap's most controversial artists and was facing domestic violence charges. The U.S. is set to pull out of the United Nations Human Rights Council, the BBC has reported. The U.S. UN envoy Nikki Haley and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo are set to make the announcement later today. Ms. Haley last year accused the Council of chronic anti-Israeli bias and said the U.S. was reviewing its membership. Formed in 2006, the Council has been criticized for allowing countries with questionable human rights records to be members. The reported move comes amid intense criticism over the Trump administration's policy of separating child migrants from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border. Meanwhile, the campaign group Human Rights Watch criticized President Trump's human rights policy as one-dimensional. Back to you, Zamira.